My people, what up, though? Here we go. I'm sorry. We sorry. It's been a while since we chopped it up with y'all. We've been bullshitting. I mean, we've been living life, but we've been kind of, you know, bullshitting. Anyway, my name is Chief,
And I'm Bell.
and we back with another episode of All Black Men Need Therapy. Prentice could not be here this evening. He is currently at the Kennedy Center in DC with the collective Fiveology, doing some writing, getting paid to write, y'all. That's it. Getting paid to write. It's actually a really, really, really big thing, but you know, I made it sound like it wasn't, but it's a really big thing. He's also featuring in the new movie out, She Ball by Nick Cann, produced by Nick Cann. It's in theaters on
Apple TV.
Apple TV
Yes, Apple TV.
and
Sorry.
a bunch of other shit. It's called She Ball, featuring Prentice Powell. Check it out. My man's out there doing big things. Shout out to P. I texted him today and said, "Yo, P, I'm proud of you, man. Like dudes don't spread enough love. He's out. He's really, really doing it. He decided a while ago he was going to take on his poetry career full time, and he's really making some noise and providing for his family, and that's dope. Shout out to Shirai at home holding down the fort while Prentice is in DC for 5
Other side of the country.
Word on the whole other side of the country. Anyways, go ahead. What's good, yo? Check in. How you been? What's up?
What up, man? What up? A lot going on, man. A lot of traveling. Since we last recorded, I've been to Mexico, Florida, going back to Florida on Friday, going to DC on Sunday. It's a lot happening, man. My auntie Reed passed away. God bless the dead. She
Rest in peace.
yeah, she it's my dad's sister, so I'm flying down to Florida. Dan, I just reminded me I'm supposed to call my cousin. Tin Marie, I got you. I'm gonna hit you up in the morning. Yeah, so I'm going down to Florida Friday and then shooting to DC for work on Sunday. I'll be there till Tuesday. But man, yeah, things are well, man. I'm just trying to get back in shape, trying to get I'm going to Miami next month. So that's why y'all, if y'all watching, I'm all sweaty up here. I just finished my little Peloton ride, got to it.
He Peloton now. Some uppity Negroes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, my Peloton on. But yeah, man, like things are cool, bro. Like Chase was sick all week last week, so that was crazy. This is the first time he missed daycare all week, so I was home with him, trying to still take care of his needs and then keep the team going and all of that. Work is going well, man. I'm in a great spot. Had my mid-year review the other day. All good things. In fact, my boss is actually trying to slow me down. He said I'm doing too much. So taking heed, which is part of what we're gonna talk about today. What about you though?
My shorty started his flag football season. He's growing, you know what I mean, learning the game more. MJ still doing some side practice pitching and batting for softball. Her fall ball's coming up, so that's pretty cool. Big baby went to college, dropped him off at college on Friday. You know what I'm saying? My oldest.
I called this big ass yesterday. He ain't called me back.
You gonna text me talking about everything all right? Bell called me. He called you. He didn't call me.
Dude, yo. I swear to God.
And
I left him a message. So it's like, all you have to do is listen to the message. But I do know that leaving messages is passe. But
right. Nah, but he's kind of digging the college life. He's scared and excited at the same time. So it's kind of right where he's supposed to be.
Normal, exactly. Exactly.
He texted me like, "Coach, I ate this much food and that much food." I'm like, be careful. That freshman 15 gonna walk up on you quick.
Yeah.
Walk up on you.
Well, hopefully they condition him like they should be. Because I mean, shit, he a big boy. He got to worry about missing weight. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like my man D. Lou, I love him to death. Probably still one of the most athletic big men I've ever seen in my life. That dude couldn't make weight in college. He had to transfer. You know what I'm saying? He ended up being All-American, transferring at a D2 school, but he just couldn't get his weight down, so he couldn't play, But he went to a D2 school, became All-American. I mean, the dude was cold. You got to be careful with that weight.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. But overall, man, I'm good, yo. I'm going into the studio. I'm stepping in the booth on Friday. You know what I'm saying?
You need a hot 16?
Nah, B, that ain't my lane. I don't rap.
Dylan.
I ain't a rapper. But nah, man, I've been, I don't know if I've said it on the podcast, telling people whatever, but I'm chasing this Grammy like everybody else. Shout out to Brandon Leak and Black Chakra. I heard they, I know they're putting an album together for Grammy contention for spoken word album of the year. We'll put my little piece together on Friday and see how it goes, man. I'm excited about it. I feel good. I invite the challenges all around for the people, the poets who are putting their work in and doing this work behind the scenes, man. The platform is going to grow real soon. It's going to be huge, man, and I'm excited to be a part of it. I mean, whatever I can do to help push the platform forward, I'm in for it. So,
y'all hear that? I'm gonna repeat that for some of y'all in the back. My man's putting an album together for a Grammy. All right, not to be on tour for a Grammy. Right, he has a phenomenal story, and because once you put it for a Grammy, it's gonna be on live. You're gonna be able to get it on Amazon and stuff like that too, right? Once you put it all together,
it's gonna be on there before it even reaches Grammy contention. If that the plan is to get to Grammy contention, but it's gonna be on there. That's how you kind of like build it all or whatever. So
so
you're on the lookout for I Wish Life Had Training Wheels. That's the name of my joint.
Highly recommended. Phenomenal, riveting, heart-wrenching, tear-jerking story, right? Like phenomenal piece. I co-wrote it, but we ain't gonna talk about that right now.
I appreciate you though, but yeah, man. So I'm excited about that. I'm actually taking Auntie Bushi with me. She loved when I call her Auntie Bushi. It's my aunt. She's younger than me. Papa was a Rolling Stone. Don't ask a lot of questions and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Oh yeah, how'd that come about?
Well, she was like executive director or assistant director of Butter. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, let me bring her with me. She'll kind of keep me on my toes.
I mean, that'd be a dope experience, regardless. And you make sure you get footage.
Yeah, I got it. Pat sending a camera crew down there.
Yo, shout out to Mocha Sports, first and foremost, man. Shout out to Mocha Sports, my guy, my main man, Pat Capra. Shout out to those dudes, man. My man Pat Capra is a true friend. Good dude, man. Phenomenal dude, doing a lot of big things. Produces all your favorite podcasts. Trust me, they're doing big things out there. So shout out to Pat Capra.
Word. So I kind of link with them in a sense, and hopefully we can get some stuff together. They can help push this movement and make some great things happen, man. So I'm really excited about it, and just looking forward to see what happens, what comes from it. You know what I'm saying?
Word, man. I need you to get on, man, so I can be on the red carpet. You know what I mean?
Up.
Let me know.
I'm gonna bring my mom.
I got a couple tuxedos in the kit. So let me know.
I'm gonna bring my mom. My mom's gonna be stupid, dumb, starstruck. She's super geeked over anything. Like she see one of my.
It don't take much.
Right. It don't take much at all. She see me in a picture with somebody on TV. Oh my God! Why can he put you on? Y'all friends? Like, Ma, I was on the show with a nigga for 12 minutes. Like, we not friends. Anyway.
Features is that's a genuine soul right there, boy.
Nah, word up. Anyways, let's get into it though, man. So the topic of today, we talking about taking a break.
Yeah.
Dialing it back a little bit. AKA, fuck them jobs. I don't mean like that. My man working corporate America, so if anybody on his team is listening, I'm speaking for myself.
The views expressed are the views of Chief Peterson only.
Right. Yeah, I'm speaking for me. Fuck them jobs.
No, man. So this all came to me. So I'll give you guys some context, right? One, I'm not so I'm in leadership, right, in corporate America. And there's not a ton of Black men in my position in my company, right? I'll leave it at that. But there's a unspoken pressure sometimes, right, to compete in corporate America as a Black man in general. So a lot of times, the tendency is to overcompensate to get to that next level, right? Overcompensation can come in a multitude of forms, right? For me in the beginning, it was or conforming, overcompensating and conforming. So for me in the beginning, just to give it some color, happy hours, right? And I was the only Black dude in the entire state of Connecticut. We had three or four offices, two offices at the time, and I was the only Black dude in Connecticut. And when we would go to happy hours, I drink Hennessy, right? I'm unapologetically black until I got to corporate America, right? And then when I got
You ain't ordering scotch now, bro. Oh God, my bad.
no,
I know the
yeah.
story. I know
Can
the
I tell
story.
my story? Can I tell my story? Can I tell my story? So I will go to happy hour and I will order Tito's and soda, right? Because for me, I didn't want to be looked at as the quintessential black dude in their eyes. So of course he's gonna order Hennessy, right? So I did some conforming, and I felt like that was something I could do that wouldn't change me at my core. It wouldn't compromise like me as a man and what I believe in. But it's just something I drank vodka too, but that just wasn't my preference. So I'm like, I can, fit into this this scene. It's easier to conform if I'm drinking the same thing. That was what was playing in my mind. So boom, then that's the first thing. Then it just starts snowballing into little things. Again, never, ever have I compromised who I am as a man, who I am as a black man. I would just make little tweaks and adjustments to make my trek to the next step, next stage, that much smoother, at least in my head. So one of those things was I didn't take a lot of time off, right? I just didn't, because you know how it is. Like we grow up, we feel like we got to be that much better, right, than the next person, because we were born with either a chip on our shoulder or being behind the eight ball, or being some type of some level of oppression, right, and in some way, shape, or form that we're born into, right. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm not going to take no time off because I don't want them to think that I'm bullshit and that I'm not committed, right? So the whole time not understanding, again, I'm young in my career, not understanding that at the whole time I'm sacrificing my own mental health, my own well-being, right? So perspective, I took my first 5-day vacation last week, right? In 11 years. More
Damn,
perspective.
that long?
Huh?
Been that long? 11 years?
Yeah, 11 years, man. April.
Wow.
So that was my first vacation. And perspective, I got married in Mexico 3 years ago. I didn't take 5 days off. Just perspective, right? I was the king of long weekends, doing Thursday to Monday, you know what I'm saying? Or Wednesday to Monday. So I'm only taking 3 days off, but I got the 2 weekend days. And then what ended up happening was I would get back on Monday, but they had no time to recover from my vacation and then be right back at it. And nobody told me to do that, but nobody told me not to do that. You see what I'm saying? Like sometimes it's not what you do, it's what you don't do.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? So nobody's like, nah, bro, that's not good. Like, take your time. So now that I run an operation, I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna take time, right? I want you to use your PTO. Your PTO is not a penalty, right? Like you're not gonna get penalized for taking it. So I wanted to talk about this today because I feel like, and this isn't just exclusive to corporate America, right? I feel like and I made a LinkedIn post, but I didn't bring color or race into it because I wanted to make it general. I didn't want to exclude anybody because I don't think it's only Black men that suffer from working too hard to achieve the next rung on the corporate ladder or the next rung in their position. I don't think it's just Black men, but I do particularly feel there's more pressure on Black men because in a lot of cases, well, we're minority. So most cases, we're not going to be the majority in any workforce, more in a corporate setting at least. So there's the pressure to perform and outpace your white counterparts. And there's the pressure of every Black person looking at you to be the example. But I don't want that to be at a sacrifice of our own mental health. So that's what I want to kind of talk about today, because that's real life, right? Like this just happened to me a couple of weeks ago. And I know I'm not the only one that overcompensates because they feel like they have to compete in the playing field isn't fair. So we feel like we got to do more, right?
I wonder if, so you obviously know I'm in education, so it's different because I don't get that many days because we have the whole summers off. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I only
Right.
do, I want to say 5 during the course of the school year, and then I got plenty of sick time I could use. But I don't, I wonder if I put in for 5 days in a row, if they would really be like, nah, bro. Like I got the time, I got 5 days. I want to use them all in a row right now.
Right.
I don't actually don't think they'll trip, but I've never really considered taking 5 in a row. I'm like you. Like if we have that Monday off of school, I'll take Thursday, Friday. Then I'll have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off. Again,
Right.
Tuesday was still with no time to recover and whatnot. But I wonder if I could take 5 days in a row off.
Well, the thing, and again, I'm not encouraging people to take the days because I'm telling you to take the days. I'm telling you take them for your mental health, right? Whatever that means. Like
what's crazy is I always refer back to my memes, but like the meme says something like, what I mean, if something happens to you today, your job will hold a moment of silence or whatever, and then carry on like normal. And no disrespect to your company or organization, wherever you work for, but we're all just minor pieces
yeah.
in the whole the whole wheel. And it's like, listen, man, take your days. If you need them, take them.
Listen, nobody's irreplaceable, right? No one is, and sometimes that works at our detriment because that's in the back of our mind sometimes too. Like I am replaceable, right? So I need to make sure I continue to perform so they don't replace my ass. You know what I'm saying? But what I had put in my LinkedIn post, what I said, take your time, take your days, because when you do reach that rung, whatever that is for you in your career, we're going to need you at your best.
Right.
Right. And if you're not doing that, if you're not taking care of your health, you're not taking care of yourself, you're not going to be at your best. You're going to be worrying about the wrong shit. So when you get there, you won't be fulfilled. You know what I mean? Because it was like, damn, I had to sacrifice all of this to get there. Now you may form resentment, maybe, right? So that's the conversation I want to just broach, because this was like the theme, obviously, of what we started talking about, but I don't think we take care of ourselves enough. I think Black men in general, we do a lot for others.
So prior to this recent 5-day break, did you feel yourself mentally overwhelmed?
No, look, dude. So let me also say this. This is by chance. That's another thing, right? 2 things I'll say. 1, this 5-day vacation was by chance. 2, this 5-day vacation wasn't 5 days in a row, right? Like I took Thursday, Friday, Monday, came back 2 days, and then took Thursday, Friday. Now I could have took 7 days. Like I could have took them all if I needed to, but I didn't need to. And also it's good for me to like just catch up, in the middle. So when I come back, I'm not so far behind. But no, I didn't feel myself breaking. My cousin got married in Mexico. My man's grandmother passed away in Florida, and then my man was having a bachelor party in Florida. So it just made sense. That's how I did it. But I didn't feel myself breaking. But I think the challenge is, man, when you feel yourself breaking, it's already too late. You see what I'm saying? I but listen, hear me out though, right? The problem with us, man, is we're reactive.
True.
That's the problem, right? We're reactive. But whereas if we made this a part of our routine, a part of who we are, right? If it's no longer taboo, if this is a part of the fabric of your organization, it's a part of the fabric of who you are, then you could mitigate that breaking point. Not to say it won't happen still, but you can mitigate it.
Do you think it should be like a standard joint for like every 6 to 8 months, find a window in there to take some time? Or is it like,
I feel like everybody's different, right? I feel like everybody's different.
That's my point. So when you said like a moment ago that we've already reached that point, I feel like we can feel ourselves getting to that point. Like, listen, I need to step back. For me at work, what happens is like when I feel myself getting to that point where I'm getting, because I'm pretty even keel and calm, and I know what I signed up for, and I balance it very, very well. But when I feel myself overwhelmed, fam, just by the grace of God or whatever, we end up having a 3-day weekend. Or like it's Christmas break rolls up on us. So now we got that extra time away. So it's like I don't really have to take that
Yeah, you in the school system, you have time baked in, and you've been there for so long. I would argue that you're programmed, right? Like you're programmed that you know something's coming, so you're like, all right, boom, I'm gonna just relax. And like you may have more anxiety because you know you're about to go on a break. I'm not a therapist
I
or
don't
anything like
think so.
that.
But I
I'm
think
just
I'm a day by day. I know there's 1 month in the school year. I don't know. I think it might be March or something. But it's like there's no holidays. There's no there's no vacation, no extra day off, and this is 1 month straight of just pure going. And me, I'm always like I've got. It's crazy because I got so many jobs, but I make sure I break. I don't care nothing about it.
that's good. So I sent my wife this today. Um, I mean, it says on our wedding night, I told my wife that we now had a 2-2-2 rule. It goes like this. Every 2 weeks, we go out for the evening. Every 2 months, we go out for the weekend. Every 2 years, we go out for the week. Right?
That's dope. That's the right
Right. But
about it.
yeah, but it's baked in.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like that's intentional. And that's all I'm saying, Chief. Like that's intentional. Like we're not intentional by and large.
Mm-hmm.
Black man has the highest suicide rate, right? I mean, I don't need facts to back this up, but that's a fact, right? So it's like there's no intentionality around our mental health at times. So all I'm saying is in the school system, dude, there's so many breaks baked in. The fact that you said there's 1 month that there's no time off, bro, that's most of America, right? Like in jobs outside the school system, like they don't have baked in vacations and stuff like that. So I think by design, your schedule or the school schedule could allow for that reoccurring time, right? And it can be baked in. But you got to think, man, think about like, I'll paint the picture for you, right? You got black kid from the hood, first generation college grad, goes to law school, right? Now he's out of his element, completely out of his element, gets a job at a firm, right? He's learning how to play the game, but now this dude got to work his ass off. You know how much pressure it is? Because now he wants to be partner, right? Now, obviously, he's not going to get that in a year, but that's what he's working towards. So sometimes we get so fixated on the goal that we lose sight of the mission. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. Yeah.
Like that's all I'm saying.
So
Like
I can see that being a part of how you operated for a while.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah. Because I'm like, you telling me I get here, I get this, and I get there, I get that. Well, that's where I'm going. I'm not about to let nothing slow me down. Now, but there's so many levels to it though, man. That's why I think like I don't want to speak for everybody's situation, but all I'm saying is the theme of what I'm saying is we have to be proactive with our
Work-life balance.
Yeah, I call I said in my LinkedIn post, I call it work-life harmony.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I call it because my personal opinion is there's no such thing as work-life balance. That's my personal opinion, right? Not based on any facts. That's just my personal opinion. There's no such thing as work-life balance because, in my opinion, right, there's always going to be a component of work in your life, and there's always going to be a component of your life in your work. You know what I'm saying? So to get them balanced, I don't know if that's possible. It may be. I'm not saying it's not. It's my personal opinion. It's not. But if you can find harmony between those things, right? Where it's like they can coexist, right? And one doesn't take away from the other. And I gotta shout my man Donnell Campbell out because he's the one who first introduced me to that work-life harmony. And I was like, I like that. Because now they're both coexisting. And plus work-life balance, man, that's just so cliche. That's like everybody's trying to find work-life balance, right? What if this is life, right? For what you want, what if this is life, right? Like what now? Hey, if you want to minimize your goals, okay, then you can have what you like. You got to figure it out. You got to figure out how they can both coexist. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you work a lot of jobs, but that's okay for you. But somebody could look at you like, this dude ain't got no work-life balance. Right? He works so much, but like that, it's working for you.
But it seems like that, but it's crazy because when I'm not at work, I'm with my goons, yo. I'm with my kids. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But that's harmonious for you.
Right, right.
That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, I can't look at somebody working 80 hours a week and be like, yo, this dude ain't got no work-life balance. No, that could be his balance. That could be what he needs. That could be his safe place, his peace.
Yeah, well, I'll get it tomorrow. Like I'm leaving work a little bit earlier tomorrow. I'm gonna pick up my aunt. We're gonna drive to New York, have a good dinner, meet with a kid, we'll do some rehearsing, go to the hotel, lay up.
I thought you was recording on Friday.
Yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm gonna go to New York tomorrow, make a night of it, rehearse with a kid tomorrow night, pull up at the studio Friday morning, you know what I'm saying, get it done, get it out.
What are you saying?
You know what I mean? So like, yeah, but that's so like for me, tomorrow night will be a good getaway, a good mental health reset, refresh, and then bounce back into work on well, not really work on Friday, you know, because I never really consider my poetry work per se. Like I love what I do.
Because your poetry is a form of relief too, and release.
Right. Yeah,
you know,
it's very therapeutic, and don't get me wrong, it's crazy to say I don't consider it work. It's very hard work, but it's something I'm passionate about. So you got to put in the time to make it. You know what I'm saying? Make it do what it do.
Yeah. That I was talking to one of my boys today in my company, and we had a similar discussion, right? Like I'm in a leadership position, so I know I'm not a producer anymore, right? I don't sell. He still sells. He does extremely well, and that's what I was talking to him about. It's like you got to ask yourself what level of hard work you want, right? Poetry is extremely hard, right? But it comes easy to you. Like I can't do what you do, you know. Managing, leading, and developing people is extremely hard. And that some people it doesn't come easy to. Right? That's why some people will never get to a leadership position because they don't want to bear that weight. But for me, it comes easy, you know, and I love it and I'm passionate about it. But and in some ways, it's also salvation, right? Because I'm able, it's probably the closest thing, Chief, that I can get to the feeling that I had when I worked in the school system. Not comparable, but the closest thing, like in my world now, right? Like being able to nurture young minds, being able to cultivate the kids and the thought process and how they view the world and all those things. This is probably the closest thing to it. You know what I mean?
And that's for me is the most rewarding part of what I do. Like I was telling Paul Morrell's kids today, we were talking about coaching. And he's asking me, you know, why I don't coach anymore. Like I miss it dearly, but you know, I got the kids, whatever. I'm like, a great part of coaching is obviously being knowledgeable about what you're doing, but more importantly, being able to get the most and the best out of the people you're coaching. You know what I'm saying? And how you communicate that with those people and how you get the best out of those can be completely different for everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you have an overall theme and message, but how you get it the best out of each individual is completely different. He was like, wow, I never thought about that. Liam's 12, but he like soaked it all in and it was pretty cool dropping those gems on him, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like being in positions of like you said, like leadership and personal development, we got to be able to really like tap into these people. I know your strategies you have your own life strategies as well as work strategies that you implement that help you get that job done, like we spoke about. So to the what would you recommend to the, no disrespect, I don't mean any step, but the average 9-to-5er in terms of creating this work-life harmony?
So I have a salesperson on my team, and they're doing really well, on pace for their best year. And they've been with the company basically a decade. And what I said to them when they were describing to me what was happening in their business, and they're like, you know, but I'm gonna get through it this week. I'm like, cool. What about tomorrow? Right? What about next week? Like, what are you doing to manage this level of stress? Right? And they didn't have an answer. So we decided that, okay, 3 days a week, we'll ride the Peloton together. Right? So now they have a plan as a stress reliever. So that's what I would suggest, be intentional. Whatever it is, be intentional about, because here's the bottom line, right? Here's the bottom line. You're going to get stressed before you think to give yourself a break.
Right.
Period. That's what's going to happen first. So you need to be proactive and intentional about how you schedule that. I remember my wife, right, when we were just dating, and I didn't, like, I'm from the hood, right? So we didn't travel a lot. We didn't do like, I wasn't on a plane until I got to college. So I had no understanding of like real vacations, but her thing was vacations. Like that was her thing. She's like, we're going on a vacation every 3 months. And I'm like, yo, you're bugging. Like, that's crazy. I'm like, I'm not doing that. But what I realize now, I didn't realize it then, but what I realize is she's very intentional about what she needs. You know what I'm saying? Like she knows that she's going to need a break. And it's all relative, right? You could be working in corporate America, you could be a security guard, right? Your position doesn't constitute how much or how long of a break you need. Right? Like, it has nothing to do with it. It's just you knowing yourself. And that was just her being very self-aware about what she needed, and me not even understanding that I needed it. You know, so that's the only thing I would say, is just be intentional. So, and these are real things. Like this happens, right? Like I said, this happened to me a couple of weeks ago. So, and you know, I'm in my latter 30s. So the sooner you can adapt this, the better, quite frankly, probably the longer you'll live too.
So in hearing what you're saying, when I do my presentations at different schools and speaking to different people, I call it finding your poem. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a poem, but find whatever it is that helps you release. And like my man says, schedule that. If you box, hit the gym. You know what I mean? If you skateboard, carve out some time to do your skateboarding. You paint, yoga, whatever it is that you do.
I like that, yo. Finding your poem.
Yeah, so we call it find your poem, yo. Whatever it is. For me, it literally happens to be poetry and poems, but find your poem. You know what I'm saying? Speaking, that's a poem I'm working on right now, and it's me finding my poem, which is poetry, working out, in religion, like praying. You know what I'm saying? Finding my poem, and it's the balance between those three things and what I do to help relieve stress for myself. It's pretty dope. Nevertheless, we'll talk about that some other time. But yeah, find your poem, man, and be, like my man said, be intentional about it and go from there. I think those are two good final thoughts to kind of like close on. So before we end this episode, we missed the part about the Locks Dipset battle, man.
Man, listen.
We felt like we had to talk about this. We meant to bring it up in the beginning of the episode, but like, yo, I had a great night that night, and I haven't watched many versus battles after like the R&B joints, because I'm an R&B head or whatever. But like, I was on cloud nine.
That was the first verses that I watched. It's the crazy shit. You know where I was when I was watching it? In the office. But anyway, that was the first versus battle I watched from start to finish. Yeah. I've seen the majority of a lot of them, but that's the first one I watched start to finish. Like, I was captivated. Yeah. Like, that's the best word.
I caught a couple of them from start to finish after the night it aired. But this one, I was on time. I was on time watching the whole thing, going crazy. I want to put it in the air. I'm a fan of them both, but I had my money on Locks. Bell's a Dipset head, and was disappointed, man.
No, like I said, I am a Dipset head. I'm a Locks head too. Locks got me through high school. Dipset got me through college, right? But what I was thinking, hey, I'll be honest. Like my man Roy Jones said, y'all must have forgot, right? like that's how I felt after listening to him. I'm like, yo, how did I forget about all this shit? So I'm gonna tell you in short. Like, I'm gonna sum up my thought. My thought was, I knew the Locks had a better catalog, but what I was not worried about, what I thought about was Dipset has more recent bangers, right? More recent bangers that just, I'll be honest, Dipset shifted the culture, period. The Locks didn't shift the culture, in my opinion.
You know what's crazy is they kind of like rode the wave of the culture, but Dipset definitely had a cultural shift.
Yeah, because
Locks
yeah,
was
you
kind of
gotta
like in the
think
middle of that heavy wave, you know what I'm saying?
the Locks came out at the golden era of hip hop in the
Right,
90s.
right.
So it was like the Locks and everybody had bars, right? Whereas Dipset, they started this movement. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, but Sheik Luch summed it up best. He said, we're a group. They're not a group.
Right,
He said, they're a crew.
right.
That's different.
And you
He
could
said,
tell that by the way the performances went.
yeah, they're a bunch of individuals
Right.
that form that crew, you know. But whereas the Locks, like they've always been a group. They didn't come out one at a time like Dipset did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like they came out as a group. So that natural chemistry, that natural synergy, that's what you saw. And obviously bars, right?
Like these
And
cats are like for real MCs, like
right. And what's so dope, man,
microphone controllers. Word up.
like what's so dope for me with all of this is I honestly feel like this is a real-time example of somebody now getting their flowers while they're here. Because I feel like the Locks, for lack of a better term, have been forgotten or slept on. And I feel like they went up against, because let's not get it twisted. Cam got bars, right? For a long time, Cam was one of my favorite rappers. Cam got bars.
Remember, you used to bump Cam heavy.
Yeah, like I'll spit whatever. Like it ain't too many Cam songs that have come on that I can't finish, you know. But same thing with the Locks though. Like I was spitting all those freestyles,
Right.
and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about. But that's the thing. Like I said, y'all must have forgot. That's what they should have played after they finished, man. Roy Jones, because man, they yeah, man. It was dope though, man. It was dope, and to see the price go up for the Locks. You know what I'm saying? Like after that,
Everybody. I think that what's real cool about it is like the verses can now be like if they do what if other people can do what the Locks and Dipset did, like you know how much like these guys are going on tour now together. That's money.
yeah.
That's gonna put a lot of money in these cats' pockets.
But you know what though? My personal opinion, that won't be emulated again. It won't. Like,
At this point, it doesn't have to be though.
but who?
Everybody's chasing it. The fans, the fans want to see that, so they're gonna pay.
Right. That's the gold standard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know that that's gonna happen again. Now, I'm not saying it can't. I just don't see it. Because when I tell you that shit was like Fat Joe said it, he's like, that's a moment in hip hop history.
For sure.
That you gonna wish you were at.
Did you watch Fat Joe's whole joint? That shit was hilarious, man.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was that animated. He was hilarious.
Oh no, Fat Joe is a character. He's a character. You know, so I had a couple of people I know that was there. And I mean, I don't know. I didn't even think to go. I don't do concerts. I don't really like crowds like that. But that was something I would have thought about. Hindsight being 2020 always. Like I might have tried to get in there, maybe. But
Fat Joe said he was having a hard time getting there. Our black ass wasn't getting in that joint.
No, he wanted to get in a certain area. Yeah, we could have got in.
Back.
Yeah, he wanted to get in a certain area. No, I'm so happy for the Locks, man, that they're getting they just due. And shout out to Cam, because apparently it sounded like Cam put an ill deal together for them. Like to the point where the Locks was like, yo, we gonna take whatever Cam said we gonna take. Because that's how all they do, they keep praising Cam in his business mind.
No,
how he structured the deal.
Not that we need to speak for these cats, but to clear the air, like everybody was like, yo, they beefing. Them cats wasn't they had hot moments on the stage, but they all friends. They all hang out.
That was WWE. That's what that was.
Word.
They were keeping entertaining, but that shit, man. Jada was in rare form. It
was a good night. I'm in the house just bopping, like ready to go crazy in the crib.
Yeah, man, I went home. Well, I didn't go home that night, but the next day, I went home that night, but the next day I worked out straight Locks mix.
Oh yeah.
Straight Locks mix.
Yeah.
And like I said, the crazy shit is I got both of them on my workout mix. Before this versus, I got Dipset and Dipset and the Locks on my workout mix. But they said Jadakiss streams went up like 200%, some crazy shit. Like that's what I'm more happy. I'm the happiest about is the fact that they're getting their flowers, they're getting their respect, they're getting their just due. No one ever doubted it. And somebody made a good point. There was like, Jadakiss says he's top 5 dead or alive. Nobody questions it.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody ever.
Even like, when he said it before this, no one ever argued.
Nobody ever questioned it. But I personally feel nobody ever gave him. I just, and maybe it's their demeanor, maybe it's their persona. I just don't ever feel like the Locks ever got to the bag, like they, based on their talent, like they deserve to get. Like I feel like Dipset might have probably got to a bigger bag than the Locks. You know what I'm saying? In their time, but I just, and I don't know this for sure. I'm just saying. But here's what I know: the back half of their career, they're about to get that bread, which I'm happy about.
Sure.
So
for sure. Nevertheless, bro, yo, it's always a pleasure chopping up with my guys, man. We want to make sure we got some more content out for you guys. We've been slipping, but we're gonna get back to it. Shout out to Prentice out there doing his thing. I don't know. Y'all be sure if you have any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns, email us some topics, some conversation points, whatever you want at allblackmenneedtherapy@gmail. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I think we got a Snap and a TikTok now. All Black Men Need Therapy.
Know that. Yeah, I know we got one coming. That's what's up.
We grooving, y'all. Be cool, y'all. Be cool and do us a favor and hug a black man today and tomorrow. We out.
Peace.